And a very good Friday morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Joe Benigno back with you again. The Pain Podcast. Friday, October 25th, 2024. The Joe Benigno The Pain Podcast brought to you by the Hackensack Brewing Company, by Anita Discount Tire, by Manscaped, and, of course, by CardWinners.net. All right. We'll get to my NFL picks for Week 8. As I had a big week last week, went 5-0, finally getting myself rolling here a little bit on the season. We'll get to that as we move on. We'll start. The World Series starts tonight, and I could really give a damn. I got to tell you. I mean, I can't stand either team. I hate the Dodgers. You know how I feel about them. I have no great love for the Yankees here. Thank God that I don't work full-time anymore and have to pay attention to every game of this World Series. I watched tonight only because I got to do a show tomorrow on the Fan. Outside of that, man, I really want to see both teams lose, right? Don't you? I mean, we got to live with the Yankee fans. I get that. We don't have to live with the people in L.A., but the Dodgers are just, they're so unlikable. I can't stand Ohtani, right? I can't stand anything about him. I really can't. And it's very interesting how it's evolved with me with this hatred for the Dodgers. When I was growing up, I loved Sandy Koufax. I really did. I'm a Met fan, but loved Sandy. Rooted for the Dodgers in all those World Series in the 60s. 1963, when they swept the Yankees in 4. Koufax was unbelievable. Won 2 games in that series. Had that 15 strikeout game in Game 1 against the Yankees at the stadium. I rooted for the Dodgers in 65 when they beat the Twins in 7. Sandy had that classic Game 7 when he shut out the Twins 2-0 on 2 days rest. I believe it was 2 days rest, short rest, to win the World Series, because that was the World Series where Sandy did not start Game 1 because it was Yom Kippur, him being Jewish. Remember, Drysdale started Game 1. Sandy started Game 2, actually lost to Jim Cott. The Twins had a 2-0 lead in that series, and the Dodgers came back, won all 3 games in L.A. The Twins won Game 6 in Minnesota, and then Sandy closed it out in Game 7. And then, of course, the 1966 World Series, when they got swept by the Orioles, what turned out to be Koufax's final game of his career in Game 2 of that World Series, when Willie Davis lost like 3 balls in the sun in L.A. And remember, the Orioles, after the only 2 runs that the Dodgers scored in that 1966 World Series was a 2-run home run in Game 1 by Jim Lefevre, the second baseman. They got shut out in the last 3 games of that series by the Orioles. And then, of course, Koufax retired after it was all said and done. Since that point, and it really turned for me. We had the 2 World Series with the Yankees, actually 3, but the 2 in 77 and 78. Reggie hit the 3 home runs in 77 in Game 6. 78, they came back again, the Yankees, and beat the Dodgers in 6, winning Game 6 in L.A. And then, of course, in 1981, the Dodgers turned the tables on the Yankees, beat them in 6, winning Game 6 at Yankee Stadium. And that was the last time the Yankees and the Dodgers played. I believe this will be the 11th time they play in a World Series. Let me just go through it again. 1941, Yankees won. 1947, the Yankees won. That was the Bill Bevins near no-hitter when Cookie Lavagetto got the big hit in the 9th inning. The Dodgers won that game but lost the series. So 41, 47, 49 the Yankees won, 52 the Yankees won, 53 the Yankees won. Finally in 55, the Dodgers' only world championship in Brooklyn. Johnny Padres shutting the Yankees out at the stadium 2-0 in Game 7. The Dodgers came back to win in 56, which was their final World Series appearance as the Brooklyn Dodgers. Remember, that was the year of the Don Lawson perfect game against against Brooklyn in 56. And then that was it. That was the last time they played, as the Brooklyn Dodgers in the World Series. Then again, they played the Yankees in 63 and won. As we mentioned, they swept them with Koufax. And then the Yankees won in 77 and 78. The Dodgers won in 81. So I believe this is the 11th or 12th time. Whatever it is, I gave you all the World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. I believe this will be 12. I think it's 8-3 the Yankees have the lead. The Dodgers winning in 55, 63, and 81. And the Yankees won all the other ones. So we'll see what happens here. Like I said, I mean, look. I'm sure nationally, Fox is thrilled to have Dodgers Yankees. MLB is thrilled to have Dodgers Yankees. Ohtani against Judge and all of that. It's really, really painful if you're a Met fan. Look, my baseball season ended last Sunday night when the Mets went down in Game 6 to the Dodgers, and that was it. That's it. Now I could care less about baseball until the off season when we see what the Mets do. We'll see what David Stearns is going to do here in the off season with the Mets. Is he going to re-sign Pete? I hope so. Are they going to keep Sean Manaea? Are they going to keep Severino? What are they going to do about the pitching staff? All these free agents, Quintana, are they bringing any of these guys back? I don't know. The one thing that I got to see from Uncle Stevie, and to me it's more about Cohen than it is Stearns. To me, the one thing I got to see about Uncle Stevie, he's got to make the biggest bid for Juan Soto. And maybe the Yankees winning this World Series actually would be better for the possibility of Soto leaving. But I think it's all about the money. Look, I think Soto will probably stay with the Yankees when all is said and done. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. But, if I'm Steve Cohen, you got to make the biggest bid. You cannot be outbid here for Juan Soto if you're Steve Cohen. And that is the only way. And even though I don't really, I want Soto and Cohen. I want Soto and Alonso back. But the only way that I can live with them letting Alonso walk is if they sign Soto. You sign Soto and you don't sign Alonso, I can live with it. Not happy about it, but I can live with it. I got to see them go out and make a big bid here for Juan Soto. Stevie's got all the money. He cannot be outbid for this guy as far as I'm concerned. But we'll see what happens. Game 1 of the World Series tonight. What is it, Cole against Flaherty tonight? I believe that's what the matchup is. The first 2 games in L.A., 3 games at the stadium, back the last 2 in L.A. if it goes 7. I guess the Dodgers are the favorite. What else can I say? Look, the Yankees had a cakewalk to the World Series. They had to play the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians. Don't say Indians. You'll get canceled. You couldn't have had an easier path to the World Series. Dodgers obviously had it a little tougher. They had to beat San Diego and then the Mets. So they had a little more difficult path to the World Series. But look, let the Yankees win. Let New York beat L.A. Like I said, I have no love at all for the Dodgers. I can't stand California. I can't stand L.A. I can't stand the whole situation out there. So we'll see. But thank God that I don't work full-time anymore, and I have to watch every damn pitch of this World Series. All right, we'll move on from that.
Garrett Cole's pitching.
It is Garrett Cole, right? Cole against Jack Flaherty, yes. Flaherty. Yes, that's it, as I said. So.
You're right.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be right.
What?
I want my team in the World Series, but that doesn't happen. So anyway, be that as it may, even though the future looks bright for them. One thing about the Mets, let me say this. The Mets have now played, I said this the other day, the Mets have played 4 times now in the National League, 4 times that they've lost. It's more than 4 times in the National League Championship Series, but 4 times that the Mets have been beaten in the NLCS. This is the first time that they lost in the NLCS where I actually came away feeling good about it, where I actually came away with a positive feeling about my baseball team. 1988, when they lost to the Dodgers, was the worst loss ever. The Mike Scioscia home run, Game 7, watching Hershiser mow down Met after Met after Met, and just, watching it go up in flames. As that team only won that one World Series in 86, and it really was never the same after 88 again. They had a couple good years in 89 and 90, but then Darryl left, and, of course, that was the end of it with the run in the 80s. So 88 was probably, to me, the worst loss in the history of the Mets when they lost in 7 to the Dodgers. And then, of course, 99, they played the Braves. Remember, they were down 3-0 to Atlanta, and then came back, won the next 2, the grand slam single by Ventura in Game 5. And then, of course, we all remember Game 6 in Atlanta. Remember, Al Leiter gave up 6 runs in the first inning. The Mets came back, actually took the lead in the game, and then we watched the 2 closers, Franco and Benitez, both blow the lead, and then eventually lose the game when Kenny Rogers walked in the winning run in the bottom. I guess it was the bottom of the 9th inning. Might have been the 10th, whatever it was. Piazza hit that big home run off Smoltz and all of that. So, that was a brutal loss, no doubt about it. And then 2006 was almost as bad as 88. I mean, it was close. Remember, the Mets were by far the best team in the National League that year. They won 97 games. They played a 83-win St. Louis Cardinal team and lost that brutal 7-game series. Game 7, I was there at Shea Stadium. That was the game where Andy Chavez made the great catch. I think it was Scott Rowland that he robbed of the home run there. But the game ended in the moment we'll always remember with Adam Wainwright striking out Carlos Beltran. And, of course, Beltran not swinging the bat, holding the bat on his shoulder for strike 3. That was pretty close to as bad as it was in '88. So those 3 times were all, you had a terrible feeling after they lost that LCS. Wasn't the same this time. There was a lot of moments with them. Just everything the Mets did this year. This was probably, I will say it this way, outside of the 2 years that the Mets won the World Series, in '69 and '86, this was probably the best Met year that I can ever remember. And I've seen it all from ’62 on. Starting 0-5, being, 11 games under 500 at the end of May, playing being the best team in baseball from that point on, winning the way they did in Atlanta in Game 1 to get themselves in the playoffs. They were down 3-0. They had that 6-run inning, only to see Diaz come in and blow it in the 8th inning, and then Lindor hitting the 2-run home run and eventually wins it for the Mets 7-6. Diaz came back in the 9th to close it out. What a great moment. Then Alonso hitting the home run to win the series against Milwaukee in the wild card round. The 3-run home run in the top of the 9th inning that sent the Mets to the division series. Closing out the Phillies in 4. The big grand slam in Game 4 at Citi Field by Francisco Lindor. And even the way they came back and staved off elimination in Game 5 last Friday, winning Game 5 at Citi Field 12-6. To at least give the Met fans one last big moment before they lost Game 6 in L.A. So, like I said, when I look back at all the years of the Mets, going back to the beginning of 1962, outside of winning the 2 championships in '69 and '86, this was probably the most satisfying Mets season I can remember. So you actually walk away with a good taste in your mouth, and we'll see what Uncle Stevie and Stearns, and all these guys do now going into the off season. But the World Series is upon us. If you're a big baseball fan, to me, this World Series has as much juice as a guy that doesn't like the Yankees and can't stand the Dodgers as we had last year when it was Texas against Arizona. I mean, that's, it's pretty much as bad as that for me. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll get a big rating. It would be nice if they started these games before 8 o'clock at night. What a joke that is, too. It's a joke that they got to wait a whole week when it all ended on Monday, and you got to wait a whole week, or actually Sunday, I guess it was. It all ended Sunday night. You got to wait a whole week till Friday to play Game 1, which is absurd, right? Because everything has got to be served for television. And then every game's 8 o'clock at night. Can they give you at least one game on a weekend at 4 o'clock? I know they want to buck football on Sunday, but can you buck college football on a Saturday and maybe even play one of these games at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? God forbid you don't play it at 8 o'clock at night, right? God forbid you're letting the kids see the World Series because, they don't really give a damn. Let's be honest. Every one of the professional sports leagues could give a damn about the fans. They could care about the players, they care less about the players, and they could care less about the fans. All that matters is the almighty dollar and when they can, milk you for the most money. So let's start these games at 8 o'clock at night. I understand it's in L.A. I get it. Who gives a damn about those people? But anyway, I understand the games are in L.A., so you got the 3-hour difference and all of that crap. But, really, these games are going to go to midnight. Who the hell wants to stay up to midnight watching these games? I guess if you're a big fan of both the teams, you will. But, like I said, I could give a rat's tail. I'd almost rather watch paint dry than watch this World Series. I got to tell you, that's just where I am right now. All right, Benigno, the Yoda Paint Podcast. Let's do the sponsors here, and then we'll get to the football. I'm not exactly thrilled with that either right now, but anyway. We'll start out with the Hackensack Brewing Company. Everybody continues to ask me when will be the next live podcast at the Brewing Company. Don't know the answer. Got to talk to my daughter. Got to talk to Mike Jones. But located 10 minutes off the GW Bridge, less than 30 seconds off Route 4 in beautiful Hackensack, New Jersey. I say that firmly with tongue planted in cheek. The tap room's open 4:30 to 10 Monday through Friday, 2 to 10 Saturday, 12 to 8 Sunday. 78 Johnson Avenue in Hackensack. See the great Mike Jones. See the great TJ. See Andre. Everybody over there. They'll take care of you. Check out my Oda Payne beer. I don't know if the Met packaging is still there or not. TJ also has the Knicks packaging. By the way, the Knicks looked good the other night. They got hammered by the Celtics by about 2,000 points. As the Celtics, they make 29 three-pointers. Boy, the modern NBA is a disaster. The Knicks play tonight against Indiana. I think that's their home opener tonight at the Garden. It's just too early, to get into the basketball and the hockey. I know the Rangers are off to a good start, although they lost last night to the hated Florida Panthers. I'm telling you, just watching that game and the way the Rangers have scored like blowing everybody out to start the season 5-0-1 and scoring 6-7 goals every game, and then you watch them get shut down, and especially shut down on a power play by Florida. I know it's extremely early in the season, but that's a very disconcerting thing to see if you're a Ranger fan, as we know what happened last year against the freaking Panthers. So, but it's just too early in the season for either basketball or hockey. And let's be real, the baseball season is clearly too long. The NHL and the NBA seasons are as well much too long. But we will let you know when the next live podcast will be at the Hackensack Brewing Company. You need work done on your car, you need tires, you need your car inspected, you got to go see my son Johnny at Need a Discount Tire, Rivervale, New Jersey, Westwood Avenue. Tell them Benigno sent you. They'll take care of you, whatever your automotive needs. See Harry, their boss. He does a great job. One of their great mechanics, and Rob. But whatever you need for your car, check out Need a Discount Tire. Again, it's in Rivervale, New Jersey on Westwood Avenue. Tell them Benigno sent you. Now, I've been telling you for a long time about Manscaped, how much I love it, how Manscaped takes care of you from top to bottom, right? You all know about the Ultra 5.0 Ultra Lawnmower that takes care of the family jewels and everything down below, giving you that nice, coiffed look, if you want to say, down in the family jewel area. And I tell you all the time about, how it makes you, you do it the right way and it gives you extra inches, even if it's only an illusion. And look, every guy wants extra inches. I mean, let's be honest. There's no guy that doesn't. I mean, tell me who that guy is, and I don't know what I'll show you. Probably not a guy. But anyway, I don't know what we would say about that. But we'll leave it alone. But everybody wants the extra inches, even if it's only an illusion. And now Manscaped not only takes care of you down below, but on top too, they got the scalp buffer, where you massage your hair. Look how great my hair looks, man. Huh? 71 and fading. But it's the scalp buffer, and does a great job. Massages your scalp, and they have the shampoo and conditioner, which I use all the time now. I wash my hair with it. I wash my whole body. It's like a body wash as well. I love it. I smell good. My wife actually wants to smell me and all of that. Sometimes we question her sanity as well, but nevertheless, you got to check out Manscaped. And they got underwear at Manscaped, too. I mean, I tell you all the time, when I'm playing golf later today, when I'm playing golf, I always wear the Manscaped underwear because it keeps your balls where you want them, You don't want to be swinging the club and all of a sudden your ball pops out, right? That's not a fun thing. But check out Manscaped. Take your scalp from zero to hero with the Scalp Buffer. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code ODAPAIN at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with the code ODAPAIN, manscaped.com. Take care of your body from top to freaking bottom. And then finally, and of course, not least at all, our buddy Avi at cardwinners.net. You're in the hunt for the best credit card deals? Look no further than cardwinners.net. Whether you're searching for a personal credit card that suits your everyday needs, a business card to help manage your company's expenses, or a card that offers fantastic perks like airline points and cash back, we got you covered. Our site also features cards with promotional 0% APR offers and outstanding sign-up bonuses to help you get the most out of your spending. Explore my top picks on Cardwin. I told you 5-0 last week. I'm rolling now. I think I'm finally starting to get a little bit of feel of the NFL season. Check out my picks on cardwinners.net, and don't wait. Visit cardwinners.net today and discover the best credit card deals available. Cards are subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. All right. Before we get to my picks for Week 8, let's get to the Jets. What a disaster the Jets are. I mean, is there any other way to say it? So here they are in this season when it's supposed to be a playoff team, win the division, and people are talking about Super Bowl. They've lost 4 in a row now. They're 2-5. They fired the coach. The coach is gone. I tell you right now, Jeff Ulbrich looks like he's totally lost as head coach of the team. He looks like deer in the headlights all the way around. And I understand, look, this guy did not know that he was going to wind up being the coach. He went from being a defensive coordinator to basically overnight told now you're head coach of the team by Woody Johnson when he dumped Salah. So Salah's gone. They bring in Devontae Adams. Now Hassan Reddick is here. Let's see what they do. I give Adams credit for this. Because after the brutal loss to Pittsburgh last week, where it looked like they quit, after Zerline, and is Zerline kicking again this week? Do we have to see, have the Jets brought in guys, I know they did it last week, to push this guy? Zerline shot, as far as I'm concerned. I can't watch Greg Zerline miss another kick again. I just can't. And I thought after that kick got blocked, it was 23-15 at that point, and after that kick got blocked, Zerline's attempt at that field goal, another short one that he missed, like 40 yards. I don't even think it was 40. They quit. They quit. They really basically quit after that. The defense stinks. Let's be honest. The defensive line is terrible. Big mistakes by Joe Douglas letting Bryce Huff go and John Franklin Myers, right? Solomon Thomas stinks. Michael Clemens stinks. Kinlaw stinks. Quinnen Williams, to me, he might as well be Muhammad Wilkerson. It's like he got the money, and now, what has he done? Has he done anything? And I'm tired of hearing about the double teams, and no. Quinnen Williams has done absolutely diddly squat so far this year with the Jets. You can run the ball on them. They're terrible against the run. With the injury now to Jermaine Johnson and his out for the year, we'll see what Reddick does, but they've basically been no pass rush. Has anybody had a weaker 7 sacks or whatever it is than Will McDonald, Not exactly, making you think he's Mark Gaston, although he's wearing his number, which is a joke as well. But nevertheless, so the defense is terrible. The whole secondary was banged up last week. I guess Michael Carter and DJ Reed are coming back this week, but the guys in the safeties are still out. Tony Adams, Chuck Clark. Who knows? We're going to see them again. Sauce Gardner, who to me is the most overrated corner in football. I'm tired of hearing how good he is. You think he'll ever get an interception again in his career? I think he has one in 3 years. He knows how to drop them, I'll tell you that. The defense has not played well. Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers has been engulfed in the bad Jet karma. Let's tell it like it is. He had no idea when he signed up to come here what he was getting into. Just think of how bad it's been for Aaron Rodgers. He comes here, 4 plays into his first season, he tears his Achilles. Now he comes back, and the team is basically, they start out 2-1. We're all pumped up. They beat the Patriots that Thursday night. All these people like it's like Super Bowl dreams are dancing in your head, not mine, but Then they lose that brutal game to Denver. Zerline misses that kick at the end, 50-yarder, would have won the game. They lose that game. Then they lose. Who did they lose to after that? It was before the Buffalo game. Who beat them before? Oh, that's right. They lose to the Vikings in London. Another brutal loss that ends with the Jets having the ball and a chance to win. And he throws that pick and that pass to Mike Williams to Gilmore. Right? They lose that game. Then they come home that Monday night game against Buffalo when they have a chance to take the lead in the AFC East. They blow that game when Zerline misses 2 very makeable kicks that if he would have made them, they would have won. And then, of course, the disaster last week in Pittsburgh where they're up 15-6. And then, right before halftime, Rodgers throws that hideous interception that turns the whole game around. And even when they're still in the game later on, down 16-15, Garrett Wilson, another one of these guys who's reading his press clippings too much, Rodgers hits him right in the shoulder pad with the ball. He doesn't catch it because he takes his eye off it. It bounces up in the air. It's intercepted by Pittsburgh. The guy returns it to the 1-yard line. Steelers score a touchdown. And before you know it, they're on their way to a 37-15 pasting of the Jets. They play the Patriots this week in New England. They're a 7-point favorite. They're going to win this game. Are they? If they don't win this game, you might as well shut off the rest of the season because it's over. Seriously. It's probably over anyway. They got a very tough, and then they got to turn around because the schedule makers have done no favors to the Jets at all. Then they got to turn around after this game Sunday in Foxborough and play Thursday night again against a 5-2 Houston Texans team at MetLife on Halloween, no less. That's going to be a ripper, I'll tell you that. Taking your life in your hands going to that game. Just unbelievable how bad it is right now for the Jets. The Jet karma has engulfed Aaron Rodgers. He has not played well, and he looks like he is disgusted that he's on this team. Now they brought in Adams, they brought in Reddick. You're getting Carter and Reed back this week. You know, I know Vera Tucker was banged up. I don't know. I guess he's playing this week. I'm not sure. Remember the kid Newman had that bad injury. Did go home with the team. I guess he's okay. Who was filling in for Vera Tucker, who was hurt all the time. Let's be honest. Vera Tucker gets hurt all the damn time. Every year he's been hurt, pretty much. You know, Tyron Smith has been a statue. I would play Fassinu at left tackle. Can it be worse than what Smith's been doing? You know, actually, I thought the offensive line, I thought the pass protection in the Pittsburgh game was pretty good, but they can't run. They got no running game at all. Every time they hand the ball to Breece Hall, it's a 3-yard loss. How many times have we seen that? You know, maybe you got to play Breece Moore as a receiver, and you know let Braylon Allen run the football more because he's more of a north-south power runner. But the running game has been brutal. I mean, they got the worst running game in football right now. So we'll see what they do against the lousy Patriots. Drake May getting the start. I don't know what to think anymore. I really don't. I'm disgusted with the Jets. I'm disgusted with everything, you know, right now with them. I really am. And I don't know what else to say. They got no coach right now. They got no nothing. Let's see if they can bounce back. Like I said, Ulbrich looks like he's completely lost as head coach of his team, and I don't want to blame him because, like I said, he didn't know this was coming. And I like Woody Johnson as a person. There's a lot of things I like about him. We align very much so in certain areas, but he has been a terrible owner. He has been just as bad an owner as Leon Hessett was, and that's been one of the biggest problems, maybe the biggest problem of this franchise, you know, for the last, you know, 56 years. So we'll see what they do tomorrow against New England. Don't really have any kind of a great feel for that game at all. By the way, I will be, where is this place? T-Squared? Where is this place I'm going to be Sunday? I think that's the name of it. With the great Jake Asman for this viewing party. I promised him I'd do it, so I'll be in the city for that. You know, maybe that'll change the karma a little bit with this crummy football team. And I'll tell you right now, if they lose this game and they go to 2-6, it's over. Where are they going? You're looking at a 5-6 win season, and who knows where we go from here. You know, there'll be a whole new coaching staff next year. You know, Douglas will be out. He'll be gone. But let's see. Reddick is supposed to play this week. Maybe Devontae Adams. He had that great speech after the game the other day about the culture and the losing culture that just, you know, completely dominates the air around Florham Park in this franchise. Let's see what happens on Sunday in Foxborough. All right, Benigno, the Oda Payne podcast. Let's get my picks in here. Week 8 in the NFL. A big week for me last week. I went 5-0. I'm 17-18 now on the year. Maybe I'm back on track now. We can only hope. But here we go. The picks for Week 8 in the NFL. Let me do a little drum roll here as we get ready for this. Here we go. Game 1. I'm taking the Ravens laying 8.5 in Cleveland against the Browns. The Browns stink. You know, the Browns are right there as the worst team in football right now. And with the Panthers, with the Giants, with the Jets, I got to put them in there now. I mean, they stink. You know, these are the teams right now, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody else right now, but these are the teams right now that to me are the worst teams in football. Cleveland's terrible. And Jameis Winston's going to start this game for Cleveland. You know, Deshaun Watson's out for the year. He tore his Achilles. The Ravens are going to blow their doors off. I mean, you saw what they did last week. They got off to a slow start against Tampa, and then they put 41 on them. Lamar Jackson threw 5 touchdown passes. The addition of Derrick Henry has been huge. Derrick Henry looks like he lost I don't know how many pounds, and he looks like he did 5 years ago in Tennessee. And the combination of Jackson and Henry has just been devastating for Baltimore. They've won 5 in a row after they lost their first 2. You're laying 8.5. To me, this is a division game, but this is a blowout. They will blow Cleveland's doors off. I don't care where the game is. Give me the Ravens laying 8.5 in Cleveland against the Browns, game 1. Game 2, I'm laying a big number again. I'm laying 11.5 with the Lions against the Titans in Detroit. To me, the second best team in the NFL right now is Detroit. They're 5-1. They beat Minnesota. They ended their 5-0 start. Minnesota lost again last night to the Rams. But I love the Lions offense. I mean, Jared Goff has been red hot. You got that two-headed running monster of Montgomery and Gibbs. They've been great. Probably the best line in the NFL. You got St. Brown. You got Laporta. You got a solid defense. You know, Dan Campbell's done a great job coaching his team. 11.5. They will bury the Titans. This game has got like 45-10 written all over it. Give me the Lions laying 11.5 at home against the lousy Tennessee Titans. Another team that's in the running for the worst team in the NFL is Tennessee. Game 3, divisional game in the AFC South. I'm taking the Colts +5 against Houston in Houston. This is going to be a close game. The Colts are 4-3. Houston's 5-2. This is going to be an extremely, in my mind, close football game. I really think so. You know, the Colts won last week. Houston lost last week, so we'll see. The first time they played in Indy, remember, Houston beat them by 2 points. It's going to be that kind of game again. I mean, 5 is a little high. I mean, I could see Houston winning this game, but I could see him winning by a field goal. This is a tough divisional game. That's a big number, and I know the game's on the road. And remember, Houston's got a quick turnaround as well, because they got a turnaround coming up Thursday night and play the Jets at MetLife. So they're in that kind of precarious situation as well. I love the Colts in this game. Tony Richardson and company, I think Sean Steichen's done a great job with them. Give me the Colts +5 in Houston against the Texans. Maybe Houston wins, but I love getting 5 in this game. So the Colts +5 in Houston against the Texans. That's game 3. Game 4, I'm going back to a team that's been good to me. I've been on them the last 2 weeks, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. They're a 2.5-point favorite at home against Philadelphia. Now, you look at they finally got off the snide. They started out 1-4. They won their last 2. You don't want to get crazy because the 2 wins have been against the Giants and the Browns. I had them in both of those games. I like them here. You know, Philadelphia had that win last week against the Giants. Barkley killed them, rushed for 170-something yards, and they blew the Giants out 28-3. I think Cincinnati's finally found it. I'll take Joe Burrow every day of the week against Jalen Hurts. The game is in Cincinnati. I think the Bengals win this game and win it easily, and you're only laying 2.5. Like I said, I think Cincinnati has finally found themselves as far as, you know, starting to right the ship, as they're now at 3-4, 2 games behind Pittsburgh and Baltimore in the very competitive AFC North. So give me the Bengals laying 2.5 at home against Philadelphia, game 4. And finally, I'm going to the Monday night game. And this is another game where I'm picking against the team more so than picking for the team. Give me the Steelers laying 6 on Monday night against the Giants. And I know Daniel Jones has played better on the road than he has. The 2 Giant wins have both been on the road. So, you know, off to this 2-5 start, you know, they won that game in Seattle. They won in Cleveland. You know, no big deal beating the Browns. But the 2 wins the Giants have both been on the road. They've been terrible at home at MetLife. Steelers come off that win over the Jets. It's amazing how Pittsburgh started out 4-2. Mike Tomlin benches Justin Fields and goes with Russell Wilson, and with the help of the great Jet defense, Russell Wilson turned back the clock to like 2013 and looked like the guy he was in Seattle. The Steelers are going to beat the Giants here. I don't even think it's 6 points is that big a deal. The Giants are banged up. You know, we know about the injury with Thibodeau. He's out. He's on IR. Andrew Thomas, their best offensive lineman, is hurt. I mean, I could see T.J. Watt and Cameron Hayward just overrunning, you know, the Highsmith and those guys overrunning the Giant offensive line here and beating up Daniel Jones. Give me the Steelers laying 6 on Monday night against the Giants. So the Benigno picks again for Week 8. Give me the Ravens laying 8.5 against the Browns in Cleveland. Give me the Lions laying 11.5 at home against Tennessee. Give me the Colts +5 in Houston against the Texans. Give me the Bengals laying 2.5 at home against Philly. Give me the Steelers laying 6 at home on Monday night against the Giants. The Joe Benigno Pro Football Picks, Week 8 in the NFL. All right, everybody have a great week. Check me out tomorrow on The Fan at 10 o'clock. I think I'm on 10 to 1 tomorrow. On Sunday, I'll be at this watch party in Manhattan with the great Jake Asman, as we hope to see maybe the Jets actually win a game against the crummy New England Patriots. We'll see. Probably the debut of Hassan Reddick as a Jet as well. We shall see how it all plays out. It'd be nice to see Rodgers actually have a good game. Remember, he's a little banged up. He's got a hamstring problem. He's got a knee problem. He's got an ankle problem. Outside of that, he's doing great. Where's the Wachaska when you need it, right? I think Rodgers may be going into the black. If they lose this game to the Patriots this week, I think Rodgers is on his way to the black hole before the game Thursday night. I mean, that's just me. We'll see. But anyway, have a great week. The biggest thing is coming up a week from Tuesday. Let's hope everything goes well there. And again, all the love to everybody. And as always, and God knows we need it, God bless America.